Hey, what's up trainers? I'm Lucy.
And I'm Johnny.
And today we're gonna go over how to play Hydreigon EX.
All right, so what's first on the deck profile, Lucy?
Big boy Hydreigon EX with 330 Dark Stellar Terra type. Has the move Crashing Headbutts, which hits for 200, and then also mills the top 3 of your opponent's deck into the discard pile. Then for 1 Psychic, 1 Steel, 1 Dark, and 1 Colorless, we have Obsidian, which allows you to do 130 to active and then 130 to your opponent's bench Pokemon. We have our Zwelios, which is our stage 1, and it's really cool because it has the Find a Friend. I know the one in Surging Sparks has the mill 2 cards, but I like the Find a Friend just in case you need to kind of fill up that bench space personally. And Dinos, can't go wrong with these. These also have the Stomp Off move, which allows you to discard the top card of your opponent's deck. So going second, attaching a Dark Energy, and just being able to start the mill is very, very essential. For some draw power, I have Cleffa to kind of help us have pivot, free retreat, back and forth off of the board. Very, very important. Have our birdies with Pidgey, tough to take out when you get the Pidgeot EX. With the quick search ability, we can go ahead and grab everything we exactly need to set up our Hydreigon's move and to disrupt our opponent at the same time. And then I like more of an offensive build, so I went with 2 Duskulls, 1 Dusclops, and 1 Dusknoir. I could at least get Dusclops and Dusknoir out and fall behind on prizes. This is a deck where you do want to play from behind. It's very essential. And for our last support to draw is a Rotom V. Very good for early game if you don't have much going on, and then you could always use your V-Star for Forest Seal Stone.
Why no Mew EX?
I thought about Mew EX. I'm just like kind of back and forth with this deck right now, just because it's still kind of new. So I feel like we're all still figuring out our ways. I tried Lumineon, but I felt like the bench space was getting crowded. But you know, actually think about it, Mew EX could help. I do find myself in a lot of test runs running out of cards in my hand. So I'm always like banking for like INOs or anything to kind of help. What I like about Cleffa is it's a 1 prizer. So that kind of helps. Pokemon like Mew EX can be easy targets on the bench. Kind of my thought process, Cleffa would probably be my personal replacement for it, but I still think having a Mew EX is a good tech-in just because you never know when you're gonna run your hand pretty low.
Shall we move on to item cards? All right. 1 copy of Switch. Then we have a Poketool EXP share. We also have Lost Vacuum. Then we got a very important Pokemon tool, Rescue Board. Then we also got Counter Catcher. We have 2 copies of Counter Catcher, not just in gold. We also have the regular Counter Catcher. Then we have what is very important, 4 copies of Rare Candy. Now these are obviously very important because they're gonna help get to the Dusknoir and the Hydreigons without needing the middle step. And then next we have 4 copies of Ultra Ball. Ultra Balls are very useful. Standard.
Every deck needs it.
Same with these 4 Nest Balls. These are pretty much what every deck needs. Then we have 2 Night Stretchers. And Night Stretchers is always good because they help you get stuff from your discard, such as a Hydreigon that get KO'd or something like that. A new card, Counter Game. Now why Counter Game?
So earlier I mentioned that this deck we're gonna play from behind. So using those Dusknoirs and the Dusclops to kind of do damage and let your opponent fall ahead in prize cards while you fall behind, it allows you to use things such as Counter Game. Sounds a little bit weird, but playing from behind is actually really useful for this deck because once you get your Hydreigon out and you use that very powerful attack, Obsidian, you can really kind of close out the game later on.
Area 0 Underdepths. Now why Area 0 Underdepths?
I like to fill up as much as possible with this deck, and the cool thing about it is I kind of want to play this, fill up my board, and let my opponent pop it because now I can get rid of my liabilities that I don't really need on the bench, such as like Rotom, Cleffa.
Makes sense. And then some other staples, 2 Earthen Vessels, 4 Buddy Buddy Poffins, always good for searching up energies and the Pokemon you need, and then something he talked about earlier, the Forest Seal Stone. Now the V-Star on this lets you get, is it one card for free?
Yes. Getting the Pidgeot EX and the Forest Seal combo in one turn is very, very good. This deck does require a hefty amount of energy costs, so it's very important that we get those in our hand and they're accessible.
Let's move on to the trainers.
And for our supporters, we're running a 2-line of Ino. Ino is going to give us some hand disruption, pretty much refresh our hand when it's pretty bad. Sometimes when that is not the issue, we can run our Arven. Arven's going to help us grab those item cards and the tool cards, such as Rescue Board for tools, Forest Seal Stone, EXP Share, which is really cool because it synergizes well. If you were to knock out my Hydreigon EX in active, I can move one of the energies to the next Hydreigon, making a much more easy setup for the second one.
All right, and then let's check out the energy we're running for this deck. We've got a 4 of for dark energy, and then a 1 of for 4 different energies. We have a 1 of steel, psychic, neo upper energy, and luminous energy. So I can see why the neo upper energy is useful, giving you 2 free of any kind, but why the luminous energy?
The luminous energy is there because there's a psychic and metal, and it also helps me provide for dark. So luminous energy allows you to have, as long as you do not have another special energy, such as neo upper energy, you can use it as any energy. So being able to kind of do that in the pinch and just have that on standby, maybe in the deck to quick search with Pidgeot, and then you can just attach for turn and now you're able to deal some damage. Mainly we want to use that Obsidian move. We want to keep hitting for 200, mill your opponent, and then late game when they ran out of stamina, ran out of momentum, a lot of things are damaged, you can close out the game.
Sounds like a very, very good deck.
Yeah, it for sure is. I've had some really good hands with it so far, and yeah, I think this is like so far the most consistent that I've found. It's a lot of like one-offs, like the energies, and it's very techy, but I find it to work okay.
Okay, well, thank you for showing us your awesome deck. Maybe I'll play against it with our Hydreigon EX.
Yeah,
see how that goes.
We have a rivalry now. Thank you guys for tuning in. Like and follow for more content, more deck profiles.
Yeah, thank you guys for watching.